YouTube fan community, Henry Hall fans, random people on the internet, my name is Giggens, and we're here today for a review of Henry Hall's third full-length album, Stop Doing Funny Stuff. Henry is back with his third album, and this finds him diving, I would say, even deeper into relationships, the world around him, how he interacts with that world, figuring out who he is in that process, and looking for the humor in things. The name of the album is Stop Doing Funny Stuff. And I don't know if it's coincidental or ironic or on purpose, but I feel like there's less quote unquote humor on this album and more introspection, more longing for peace, trying to, maintain or level out a certain amount of anxiety. So, whereas in other albums, I feel like the humor was a little bit more apparent. This album, I feel like it does take a step back a little bit, but that doesn't hurt the album at all. For instance, the first song, Feeling of Knowing. This one for me is Henry kind of looking at like the future and hoping that things can get better. But what if he moved somewhere else with the hopes of like, okay, cool, let's see where I go. But those same feelings kind of travel with him, as he says in the song. That really would suck. I love the fuzzy, bouncy bass on this thing and the way it plays with those synths. This is a very synth-heavy album, and I say that in the respect that there's synths all over this thing as texture. They're bubbling up in the background here and there. They're layered into something very constructively and very well. But the moments that the synth does kind of bubble up more is a real showcase because it plays so well on the acoustic guitars that are prevalent throughout this record, and the amount of guitar noodling on the electric is like the perfect touch, the perfect blend for all that to be wrapped together. This first track in particular is a vocal showcase. Henry's vocals are as amazing as they ever are, and I feel like he just gets better and better with each release. His vocals are insane. The notes that he can hit are crazy. He can go super low, like on Loose, come on, come on, and then super high stuff that I would try to replicate, but I can't do because I'm not Henry Hall. Alone, Baby is track 2, and I love the combination of instruments in this one because of the production. So you've got a really clean electric guitar and then drum and bass underneath that, but it's just a jammer, and Henry whispers the vocals throughout this thing. It's a really reflective and chill track. Henry is really a master storyteller in a way that it feels like you're hanging out with an old buddy you've known forever, where you feel like you know what this person has gone through and you relate to that. So whether or not you've known exactly all the details, the way he presents the song feels so honest and from the heart that you're sucked in. And I like that the vocals are whispered because you pay attention to it differently. Like a Knife is a truly heartbreaking song about the passing of a dear friend, and hearing the news, trying to accept the news, or let alone understand the news, and how you go about your day and your life after that, knowing that person's not going to be there anymore. Beautifully layered vocals, and there's a part at 1 minute 44 seconds where the vocals just sound like this heavenly choir that just shine down so brilliantly. And it's one of those like jaw-dropping album highlight moments where when you hear it, you don't forget it. This is truly a beautiful, special song, absolutely written from the heart. And, when you write for someone that you care about, it's one thing. When you write about somebody you care about that isn't here anymore, those songs hit different. And this is truly one of the best songs he's ever written. Track 4 on the album, Still. This is one of my favorites on the whole record. I really enjoy the way the chorus kind of glows and slow burns on this one. It's a really warm song that takes its time. The layering of synths and percussive elements give it an 80s sheen. Henry's vocal delivery here is so heartfelt and such a joy on the ears. And again, this is a song that takes its time. And I really enjoy songs like that because when you have that delivery and that presence and that like vibe, you can get away with tracks like that because with some people we hear tracks that just go nowhere. They're so slow and so boring. But when you have that atmosphere of heart, you care about what you're doing, you care about what you're making, you understand the elements of the song and the story you're trying to tell, that is tangible. That is something you want to gravitate towards. And Henry nails it with this one. This is one of my favorites in the album. Not Enough is a truly interesting song. The way he hangs on that chorus note is almost hypnotic. He lets it shake, he lets it bend, it gets wavy. It's an incredible feeling when you're just really holding on. And I mentioned that because the vocal on the song, for me, is the absolute standout star selling point of this track. You do have a really intricate amount of synths and textures underneath it all to build up the atmosphere of the song and to create some tension. But Henry's vocals steal the show. I mean, when you have that note get held like that, it really feels like a relationship on the verge of breaking or trying to stay afloat, where you'll have every little shred of your being into something and hope it doesn't break apart. That's what that note sounds like. It sounds like a relationship trying to be something, and it's gonna be shaky and wavy and kind of weird sometimes. And I love that vibe that's created because you get that lyrical content in that one note. It's a really amazing song. You know, you're looking for that middle ground, you're looking for that balance, you're looking for two people to blend their worlds together, and sometimes it's just not enough. Wikipediaing Poison Snakes, that's probably the biggest mouthful of a title on this album, but it's also one of the best songs he's ever done. It's so catchy, it's so fun, it's so relatable. We've all gone down that rabbit hole where you're just clicking blue links and seeing where it goes. You know, this is a track about like trying to avoid your anxieties, trying to avoid the negative things you say about yourself, and hoping that if you go deep enough down a Wikipedia rabbit hole of doom scrolling, you can forget all your anxieties. Everything about poison snakes to hot dogs. What do you want to learn today? How do you want to get away from yourself? It's propulsive, it's charged up, it's got such a manic energy to it, and I love the way the drums sort of slap into the chorus. Really cool effect there. But yeah, easily one of the best songs on the album. Tiny Door is a special little song about the delicacies of love and opening yourself up to someone and hoping you've done the right thing and hoping they're doing the right thing by letting you in or you letting them in. That back and forth. You know, like when you say love is a tiny door, it's kind of like, you know, I'll open this little door and kind of see where it goes. You don't want to open the floodgates and just hope for the best. Like, here's a little piece of what I have to offer, and maybe the door will get bigger or it'll lead to a giant house behind the door. The guitar interplay with the shuffly drums is a really cozy, comfy, warm vibe. Really enjoyable storytelling from Henry, you know, just honest again. But definitely one of the more truly heartfelt moments in the album. Loose is a cool song because, you know, it's about meeting somebody, getting involved in a relationship, and hoping that you get to call them by their nickname. And because it's a special thing, you get to be part of that special club. But this story in particular is interesting because, like, you know, as he sings in the song, he's ending up meeting Lucy's ex-boyfriend, and he like runs a train and gives all the people on the train flowers, not just Lucy. You know, he's really hoping that she's going to call him Hen, short for Henry. It's just pet names and wanting the cute things in a relationship. This song musically also is all over the place. The solo rips, the music during the verses is like fairly calm, but then you get these really deep come on moments, and it's just like it feels so cool. So Surgeon is a journey of a song musically and production wise. It's at times really wide and expansive, and at other times super tight, super focused. A masterclass in tongue twisting vocal delivery about dissecting relationships and just looking at things sort of clinically or almost in a sterile kind of way as an observer. Obviously, you're involved and inside the relationship, but you're almost seeing it from like a third person point of view where, you know, you're looking at it rather clinically or sterile, and as if a doctor would sort of dissect you and give you the rundown report of what's wrong with you. And that's a really clever way to look at a relationship. Articles on Body Positivity is a fascinating song, very conversational, probably the most conversational lyrical delivery I've heard in a long time. Everything right down to like, oh man, your earbuds were out. I wish you didn't hear that. Oh, hey, your earbuds are in. Now I'm going to talk to you, but do I really want you to listen? Hey, what brand are those earbuds? It's this back and forth about being down and out, trying to cheer yourself on, trying to make yourself feel better about how you look or how you see the world, and wondering if you want someone to hear you or if you just want to vent. You know, like someone is there and listening, but like, do you really want them to listen? Because it's like such a personal thing to chat about. But it's also kind of like, oh, cool, they are there. Oh, wait, do I want them to hear that? What a weird back and forth. The album ends with Brother. This is a very sweet song about just chilling with your brother and wanting to hang out with them. Put down the phone. Who cares if the phone dies? Who cares how much time slips by? Who cares if you sleep for 17 hours? You just want to enjoy being in the moment, because moments are things you don't get back. Memories are things you don't get back. Physical stuff, it comes and goes. Who cares? The memories are what stay with you. Celebrating the times that should never be taken for granted, celebrating the little things in life. It's just important to cherish the ones you care about, the ones you love, because that's what matters. When you're old and you look back and you remember all the good times you had with your friends, your family, that is what makes you feel good, you know? Stop Doing Funny Stuff is a wonderful examination, if you want to put it that way, into Henry's brain and how he understands the world within him and around him. One of the things I really enjoy about Henry is that you feel his personality. You feel like you know this guy. You feel like you're in on the joke, you're in on the relationship, you're in on the situations he's gone through because he really puts his heart on his sleeve. You're there for the hard times, you're there for the funny times, you're there for the times where he's confused. It's so pure, it's so honest, there's nothing pretentious about his delivery, there's nothing sort of full of himself. It's like, I'm just figuring out my world and I'm gonna let you in on it. And if you wanna be here and hang out, that's cool, man. And that's a really special quality to have because you feel like you just know this guy. You can go hang out with him. And there's nothing better than meeting someone that you feel like you just know. Hiatus Coyote, they sing it best. You don't make friends, you recognize. Henry Hall, Stop Doing Funny Stuff, 8 out of 10 for me. A wonderfully dynamic album that really runs you through the range of emotions. And I love the production on this thing. The production accents the lyrics and the storytelling so perfectly. The instrumentation is well balanced and layered, and you're going to discover textures throughout this thing that you haven't heard the previous listen. And it offers a lot. The more you go back to it, the more you find something special in it. And I think that's the mark of good music and the mark of a good heart and honesty. So there you go. My name is Giggens. This has been Henry Hall. Stop Doing Funny Stuff. Let me know what you guys think about this record in the comments below. Stoked to chat about it with you. It was in my top 24 of the year. 24 of 24. It was in my top list. Definitely an album to check out. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys in the next video. Take care of yourselves. Bye.